Are you a overthinker? Well, I am. You just saw. After the camera started rolling, I'm sipping my coffee and still overthinking what I have to talk on this video. Being an overthinker myself, I know how super difficult it is to not think about things. We have so much of thoughts that's troubling in our mind. We have constant mind chatter. I do understand, even at those times when you're relaxing, your mind is overworking, you have millions of thoughts coming up. Even before going to the bed, you want to relax, but there are so many thoughts that is coming up. I really understand all that, and that's why today's video is about 4 quick ways to control your overthinking and worrying. Now, as people like me or you who have the issue of overthinking or mind chatter, we know that to keep ourselves calm sometimes, so to keep ourselves not thinking about too many thoughts, what we do is we start overworking. If we had some kind of troubled situations in life, or if you would have undergone some kind of bad situation, some kind of tense situation, what we generally do, like for example breakup or divorce or any kind of loss of somebody, or then not achieving, basically not achieving things in life, would generally the solution that you find to come out of overthinking is to overwork, be involved in something so much that a lot of stress builds up and it spoils your health completely. So today I want to share you those 4 quick tips where you can keep your mind occupied without getting stressful. Now, how do you control your overthinking or mind chatter? The solution: there is no way of controlling it unless and until you have practiced years of meditation to calm yourself. If you are just a beginner, the one thing that I have done is, you cannot control your thoughts. What you can do always is to get yourself occupied with something that's very absorbing. Always remember that self-awareness is super important to recognize that whether you're overthinking or not. Sometimes our brain is continuously working and we are overthinking. We just get lost. We do not recognize our thoughts. We do not recognize what's happening in our mind. So from today, understand that if you have identified that you're an overthinker, that's brilliant. You have at least come to the next stage. The second stage would be to identify, like immediately when you know that when you're just by yourself alone, or just feeling lonely or by yourself, when thoughts starts coming into your brain, start realizing that you have to immediately switch your mind. Now, these 4 habits is what I'm going to mention about how you can switch your mind and keep your mind occupied without getting stressed. The point number 1 is what I call creative imagination or creativity, building up a passion. Now, as I said, how to keep your mind occupied without getting stressed is to have a passion. How do you know that you're passionate about something, right? Like, what do you love to do from morning to evening? Like, apart from your work, if you go for a job, apart from, even if you do not have a job, even if you are at home, or we all have responsibilities, right? Apart from your responsibilities, what do you actually enjoy doing? Like, for example, my passion always is, I have a lot of it, sharing content creation is something that I love to do, and I speak about mind and mindfulness and meditation and rest of the things. I even like trying out new recipes and cooking. I like to keep my house clean, and most importantly, reading books, which I'm going to come further on. So these are my kind of passion. So what are your passion? How do you identify what's your passion is? What do you love to do? What do you love to hear about? What do you love reading about? What do you just recognize what kind of information that you're collecting the entire day? Somebody who loves to paint, and then you're always looking at other painters, or inspired by painters. Or do you like photography? Like, when you go outside to meet your friends or on travel, are you taking good photographs? So what do you love to do? That's the basic thing of understanding about your passion, is understand what you're doing the entire day and see where your concentration is going, and that's what your passion is about. So cultivate that passion. So what, when you cultivate that passion, you will have your mind to just switch immediately something that you love to do. Like, you have a 9 to 5 job. After 5 o'clock you come back, and you might be you sit at home, and then there's so much of overthinking happening when you're sitting at home. Start enjoying your passion. Put your mind and heart and soul into passion. When you're doing something that you love, your mind is occupied and you feel less stressful. I've done a previous video on how to stop overthinking and how to stop mind chatter. So make sure you watch those videos. The links to the video will be given in my description box. I'm sure it is going to be very helpful for you. These are something from my own personal experiences. Make sure you see it. What's the second habit that helps you to control overthinking and worrying is reading books, my passion. I read a lot of spiritual books and personal growth books. You can read any sort of books that you love. Kindle is some device that I use to read my books. On my previous video where I've mentioned about how ebook versus reading book, what are the benefits of having a Kindle if you like reading. Now, why do I say reading is super important to control your overthinking is when you're reading a book, right? It can be magazine, it can be a book, it can be even a book about if you're a student or a professional who's reading about learning something. It can be a book in your own language, your own mother tongue, no matter which language it is. When you're reading something, your mind gets occupied with that story. Your mind is continuously receiving some information, so all your other thoughts get lost. Like for example, before you go to sleep, right? This is routine that I follow. Before I go to sleep, I read for about half an hour, like 20 minutes of reading calms my mind. I'm out of all the overthinking. I get I just get involved in the story or whatever books that I'm reading, and the rest of the 10 minutes I'm slowly diving into sleep, and then I switch off my Kindle and then go to bed. Like next time you want to control overthinking is practice reading books. You can start small, like reading just 2 pages in a day. Immediately have a book whenever you're traveling, even after work, or whether you're at home or wherever you are. Just keep a book and read things at least 2 pages, 1 pages or 2 pages. Now that if you want to come out of overthinking and worrying issues, you have to build certain habits to control it. How to do it? Now shift your mind, start reading something inspiring, and then get involved in the story, and that will reduce your overthinking. So I'm currently reading a book which is called Autobiography of a Yogi. If you're into spirituality and meditation, I advise you to read this book. It's really wonderful, an eye-opener, and it's amazing. So I'm going to link to my previous video where I've mentioned about how to meditate, beginner meditation tips, which you can have a look if you're interested to learn meditation as well. Now, the third healthy habit to control your overthinking and worrying is listening to podcast. Podcast is quite similar to radio, how radio has different channels where you listen to. Podcast is an on-demand content series. You can listen to a lot of audio formats, audio through wherever you want at whatever time possible. There are a lot of podcast apps like Anchor and Spotify, which you can download on your phone. There are a lot of inspirational speakers. There are a lot of business people who upload what they speak on their podcast channels, and you can listen to them. Now there are a couple of people that I follow on podcasts, like motivational and keynote speakers like Gary Vaynerchuk. Is a business person, very famous business person. I listen to another mentor of mine, Coach Jay Shetty. I listen to since I do a lot of videos on mind and mindfulness and spirituality, I listen to Sadhguru's channel. So podcast is something you can listen to and also do other work. Suppose you're cooking, you come back from your office and you're indulging in other activities, like probably you're cooking or you're in the gym. And the moment you're out of your work, on your responsibilities, your mind will again start to wander, and all the creepy overthinking thoughts start coming in. So plug in, open the app, listen to podcasts. When you listen to inspirational speakers or things that you absolutely love to listen to, your mind will start getting occupied in it, and A, you will not feel stressful. B, you're learning so much from inspirational speakers, from people that is in your industries who are doing wonderfully, and you will learn a lot also. So listen to podcasts. I'm going to give a link in the description below to Anchor and Spotify podcasts, where you can see and learn what a podcast is and start listening to podcasts. Now the fourth habit that I want to mention is about social media. Now you might just think, how is it a healthy habit? Now we cannot deny the fact that all of us have phones, all of us have smartphones, all of us are into so many social media pages like Facebook and Instagram. People are like nowadays looking into TikTok or whichever place is possible. It doesn't mean that being on social media is not a healthy habit. It is definitely healthy if you know how to use it. So how you can control your overthinking and worrying using social media is personalize your social media feed and follow those inspirational people that bring value to you, that inspire you. Now, even if you're on Instagram, as you follow people, you can unfollow people as well. So keep your social media profile like once you open your social media profile, you need to look into things that keeps you happy, keeps you inspired, right? If there is somebody or some person who's not inspirational, who's bringing a lot of negativity, you can always go and unfollow it. This is what I say: customize or personalize your social media feed, because you're already overthinking, you already have so many thoughts in your mind. You do not want extra consumption of unwanted content and start thinking more. So if you are an overthinker, make sure you take the step of personalizing your content on social media. So previously I've done two videos where about digital mindfulness, where you can customize your Facebook and Instagram feed and know the amount of time spent, and how you can set timers to remind you to come out of social media if you're extending to a certain point. So personalize your social media feed and follow inspirational speakers. So these were my four habits that I do when the moment I know that I'm overthinking, the moment I know there's a lot of mind chatter happening. It's etched into my subconscious mind right now. When I know that I'm just free, and then I know that the moment the thoughts are going to attack me, I start I immediately switch my mind to doing something that I love to do. I listen to podcasts, love to read books. So these are things that I have done. So you also try to do it. Recognize that you have an overthinking issue. Recognize that when thoughts are coming, immediately start doing this. And let me know in the comment section below that if you like watching this video. Also let me know that what is there anything else that you do to control your overthinking and worrying? What are the other stress-free ways that you use to get your mind occupied? There might be a lot of things like working out, maybe anything else that you love to do. Let me know what is your way to keep your mind occupied, just to be stress-free and to enjoy life. If you like watching this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel Mindfulness with Jagrati, because I come up with videos on mindfulness, on mental health, on personal growth, on self-care, and a lot of it. So every week, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. If there is any links that I have to mention about, please look into my description box, where I'm going to link to all my social media profiles. I'm very much present in Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. I have my own website where I write blogs on jagratikarthik.com. I'm present on LinkedIn as well. So the remaining links to my previous blogs that I've mentioned in the video will be there in the description box. So make sure you check that. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.